Hello everyone, welcome to the hilarious show. You won't believe how bizarre things are about to get. Yes, he found a rent there, and it turns out there's a mysterious story behind it. Folks, you can't miss this news. What he found is jaw-dropping. Keep following our journey, things are only going to get crazier. However, just when the wonderful day was ending, Ruth called and said, the Spanish police arrived at Charles' place, but why couldn't they find him? The struggling bank account seems to be making a run. Suddenly, Carl realized something. Charles must be playing hide and seek, and the daytime adventure finally leads to the next day. Ruth and her assistant set off on a journey and discovered the secret between Charles and the two corpses. This secret comes from that mysterious women's sanatorium, like a fog that wrapped around them. When they arrived, they ran into a chubby guy, and the whole story was laugh-out-loud funny. Led by the chubby guy, Carl's group found tons of fairy flowers here. What a wonder. He told everyone that the girls used to smoke these like weed. It was like a party in ancient times. After the excitement, we continued exploring and found that this sanatorium was like a prison. The girls were treated like inmates, and the doctors acted like prison guards. This is like a psychological sanatorium. They didn't do anything wrong, yet endured endless torment. It felt like shooting a horror film. After hearing this tale, even Carl and his team were stunned. They couldn't believe this place was like hell. However, after the sanatorium closed, the local government decided to turn a blind eye. How utterly insane. The chubby guy continued to rant that many of the lawsuits against them were ruthlessly dismissed. It was truly a comedy. Carl looked utterly baffled, as the reason was that there were no records in the police database at all. So they decided to try their luck at the National Archives. Miracles might just occur. As a result, they found a file of a victim that had a rather questionable connection with Charles and Kurt. The description mentioned that the judge thought the evidence was insufficient, leading to the case being tossed away. How ridiculous. Interestingly enough, the documents failed to even mention that girl's name, as if it were all just a joke. Although Carl and the team found a hint, it seemed worthless, like searching for a needle in the ocean. When they returned to the station, the chief suddenly told Carl that Charles vanished like a ghost. No one could find her. The chief even suspected that Charles might have become history, which was dramatic, to say the least. However, Carl was sure she was using a fake identity, and he firmly connected Charles with the three corpses. Hearing the name of Dr. Kurt, the chief was stunned. This was indeed a piece of gossip. He even mentioned that Kurt opened a research center somewhere. Treating infertility was laughable. I have to say, it's ironic. A doctor once accused of forcing surgeries has now become a miracle worker. Thus, Carl and his assistants rushed to Dr. Kurt, but he only remembered the story from back then. After a round of questioning, they got nothing useful. It felt like playing a guessing game. When Carl asked about the past accusations, Kurt's response was surprisingly nonsensical. He said it was all one-sided. It sounded like a comedy routine, totally unscientific. When the assistant asked the name of the girl who accused him, Kurt replied, "It's been so long that he just can't remember." When faced with Carl's questioning, he chose to turn around. It was just too surreal. Carl and his assistant knew it in their hearts. Kurt was definitely lying, hiding some unbelievable secret. Just then, they decided to find the chubby guy again because he previously said he had a lead. The chubby guy told Carl he was watching the sanatorium because his aunt had suffered a tragic fate of sterilization. Digging out this history revealed the unbearable truth. Life's dramas are everywhere. Upon hearing this, the chubby guy warned them not to provoke her easily, or the consequences would be dire. The chubby guy revealed that Kurt colluded with certain people in the government to carry out a mysterious eugenics program. It was mind-blowing. They gave Kurt special privileges to secretly operate on women with inferior genes. It was like a horror story. What's more unsettling is that this conspiracy isn't just Kurt. They formed a group of doctors. The chubby guy worried that the three corpses discovered by the police might have been silenced for revealing Kurt's secrets. Everyone found this suffocating truth hard to believe. After all, it's just the chubby guy's side of the story. The chubby guy continued. All docs in this sterilization plot share a lawyer. Absurd. He wanted proof but was powerless. At that moment, the assistant noticed a detail. She suddenly stood up, handed the video on the chubby guy's phone back to him, and vanished in a hurry, like a magic trick. Seeing this, Carl hurriedly followed her out and found out the girl in the video was named Noel. She's their neighbor.